This is Steve Marsh with Round 1 from MSPMag.com. We're here today with Cecily Sommers with the Push Institute. She's a futurist.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell's a futurist?
What we do at the Push Institute is to study 4 significant forces and their implications for business and government over time.
What is that? Air, water, and earth?
They are resources, technology, demographics, and rules of law and markets.
First, in our immediate future, there's going to be some sake. Which one should we try?
I think we should get you the flight so we can try a sampling of it.
Who are we to be like at the second sake brew pub in the world?
I'm a little dubious. Doesn't that sound a little bit like bullshit?
I mean, we'd have to do a lot of research to prove them wrong, and I'm not willing. I'd rather just have the flight.
Exactly. It's like a monopoly board. You have a book coming up that's going to hit all these 4 things, or?
I am. Yeah. So here's the book title. It is At Stake, Your Future in a High-Pressured, Full-Plate, Need-It-Now World.
So you're trying to scare us a little bit.
Yes, I mean, is the answer. Right. Is that, we live in a world that rewards the short term, and we know all too well the consequences when we aren't really keeping an eye out for the long term.
Why are we so caught up in the immediate future?
In a free market economy, and particularly the way ours is developed with stock reports every quarter, all the incentive is to make sure that stock price keeps going up and up. It's only really within privately owned companies where people are willing to take risks. A really great kind of heroic figure for that, for instance, is Richard Branson with Virgin.
All right, cool. Here's our man with our sake.
What is koji?
Koji is a mold spore. That's what we use to get the alcohol out of the rice.
Mold spore. Sometimes you don't want to ask questions.
I usually tell people to start in the middle. That's the Junmai Nama. It's kind of diluted and a little bit sweeter than the other 2. Finishes nice and smooth. So.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, indeed. Here's to the future. Liking it.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, and I taste the honeydew.
I like booze. Now, about Richard Branson, he frightens me a little bit because he seems to be almost an evangelical figure for privatization and being like, we're going to build our own rockets. In this country, we have the idea that, all innovation comes from the private sector, but doesn't a lot of it come from the people that have the big part of our GDP, which would be the government?
Not so much, really. I mean, there is government funding that goes into grants, that goes into academic institutions, but a lot of funding also comes from private.
So you're saying most innovation, most scientific innovation comes from the private sector?
Biotech, biofuels, those are a lot of green technologies that look for funding, and then that is private capital.
When we talk about the green future, when's it going to get here?
Sometimes I wonder if we're asking the right questions, going completely to electric cars. Well, in order to do that, you've got to have big batteries and bring down the price for doing that, and then you have to have a system that can support that, and guess what? By the time you're plugging it in to recharge them, what you're really doing is running a coal car. There has to be enough economic gravity to whatever solution comes forward that it actually wholesale shifts people's behaviors.
How are, newspapers and magazines and the media going to make money in the future? That's something that I'm worried about.
If all of the premium sources band together and say, we'll create a premium feed, and so that anybody who wants to get BBC, New York Times, Zeitgeist, and a number of other things that, in order to search Google, you're going to have to pay for that. Wall Street Journal's done it really well. They have paid content online, and that's probably going to be the model going forward.
Here we are with Cecily Sommers. Thank you for spending time with Round 1.
It's been a great pleasure.
This is Steve Marsh. Thank you very much.